Welcome back and welcome again to our 21 series of questions we would ask an estate planning attorney if we were going to hire someone for our estate plan. And we are estate planning attorneys, so we know what kind of questions that need to be asked. And that's what we're doing through this series, is to make sure that you are armed with the information that you need to get your estate plan done correctly. So I'm Raymond Chandler. This is my partner, Scott Stork. We are with Polaris Law Group out of St. Charles, Missouri. And continuing this series of questions, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when the new videos come out and the new questions come out. So this week, this time, what are we asking about? What happens if my property changes later after I've done my estate plan? What happens 2 years, 5 years, 10 years later? What does that look like? So again, Scott, why is that important to know?
So the biggest thing to understand is that of all the things that are going to change in a person's life, whether that's the family, whether that's legal changes, things like that, the thing that we have found that changes the most in a person's life is what they own. So think about with me 15 years ago. Are you living in the same house? Do you have the same bank? Are you working with a different financial advisor? Have you gotten different benefits through work? Are you driving the same car? Those are all things that tend to change on a relatively ongoing basis. And what we found is that with clients, that's the thing that changes the most for them. Remember the empty treasure chest story that we talked about during tying your property and assets to your plan. If your treasure chest is empty, then it doesn't own any treasure. Your estate plan is the same way. If it doesn't continue to own your property and assets in a proper way, then your estate plan is destined to fail. And so if you don't a lot of times have support from an attorney, those things get overlooked. You would be shocked at the number of clients who come into our law firm and we ask them, okay, you did an estate plan 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. What do you own? Is there anything that's tied to the plan? If there was, it is almost certainly changed at least to a large extent. And many, many times that nothing has been tied to the plan at all. And both of those things are making it the destiny of the estate plan to not work correctly. So Ray, how do we work?
So again, we want to use our client care program to make sure your estate plan works. And so when it comes to property changes, that's built into our planning program. And so in our client care program, one of the things we do is on a yearly basis, send you a report of everything that we remember that we have listed into your estate plan that we funded on the front end, and now we want to make sure that's still what you have. And so what we ask clients to do, of course, is tell us when you change something. And if you forget, then at the end of the year, we're going to send you a report so you can make sure you catch that. Because really, a lot of support programs, that's what it is just call me if something changes and I'll take care of it, and then nobody calls the attorney and doesn't get changed. So we want to make sure that you're looking at it on a regular yearly basis, or really any time that our clients want to see their report. They have access to the report that says, here's the house that's funded in your estate, here's the cars that are funded to your estate, here's the retirement accounts funded to your estate, here's the bank funded to your estate. Is that still what you have? Are there any changes, any additions, anything like that? And also just a ballpark figure on the values to make sure there's any valuation issues that we're getting into if it's taxable or something of that nature. So you always want to look at your estate and your assets on a yearly basis, a continuous basis, all the time, to make sure that treasure chest stays full of your treasure and that your treasure doesn't leak out on accident. So that's how we help, is through our client care program to make sure our clients' estate plans stay funded throughout their life.
And just on that client support part of it, the other thing is to make sure your family knows, let's say you become disabled or something like that, what it is that you actually own. You would be shocked again at the number of families who have to kind of try to figure it out on the fly, and things get missed or they don't find things at all. So again, we're here for our 21 questions series of questions we would ask an estate planning attorney if we were hiring one. Next week's video is, how does the attorney make sure that their estate plan stays up to date if a client's life changes or if the law changes 5, 10, 15 years from now? What does that process, if they have one, look like? So again, we thank you for joining us. This is part of our 21 question series. I'm Scott Stork with Polaris Law Group. This is my partner, Raymond Chandler. We're an estate planning and elder law firm in St. Charles, Missouri. Remember to hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications of the upcoming videos. And we thank you for joining us today.